Hi YouTube, Darth here. If you spent any time in the Star Wars Battlefront Open Beta, you probably got a feel for the 5 guns that are in the beta. But did you know there are a few hidden guns you might not have heard of sneaking around in the beta's game files? These have been data mined for a little while now, and I want to talk today about these secret weapons from the Star Wars franchise and how they might feature in the full game. There are 5 in total, bringing the known guns in Star Wars Battlefront to 10. So let's get started. First up is the EE3 Carbine blaster rifle. This blaster is known for being associated with the bounty hunter Boba Fett, and this association has been confirmed by DICE in a blog post. Though Boba Fett is a confirmed hero, the currently mined data suggests that the rifle isn't very amazing, as the damage model on this rifle in-game is pretty low. It has a low rate of fire, some of the least maximum damage of all the blasters, and nothing else really amazing about it. However, it could be the characteristics we can't see that are the standout features. For example, the weapon is likely scoped, and if there are any multipliers above the normal headshot multiplier, this could very quickly become a wonderful pocket sniper rifle for Boba Fett. It has the lowest recoil in the game, so it could very well play like a long-range E11, though with less damage. Next, we've got the RT-97C Heavy Blaster Rifle. In the lore, this weapon was an accurate blaster rifle with 3 separate scopes that offered it range, infrared capability, or a thermal scanner. Now, in Battlefront's data, the damage and rate of fire make it look almost identical in stats to the DLT-19. Could this simply be a cousin to that weapon? Possibly, but that similarity suggests that there is more to this weapon than meets the eye in the raw data. It could be that the RT-97C is a similar blaster but contains night vision elements like the IRNV and FLIR from Battlefield 4. Unlike the DLT-19, the RT-97C also has next to no side-to-side recoil, which suggests it's somewhat easier to control for longer ranged engagements. Either of these components would make the weapon pretty distinct, particularly the night vision. And there's always the possibility we could see this in an unannounced hero's hands, but it seems very unlikely. The SC-14 started as a blaster pistol produced for the droid armies of the Trade Federation. However, after the end of the Clone Wars, it was upgraded and adopted by the Empire as the SC-14C. In Star Wars Battlefront, it's most likely the Empire's pistol counterpart to the Rebel DH-17. Unlike the DH-17, it doesn't suffer from the need to remain standing still while firing to get the most accurate shots, and it can be fired on the move and hip-fired like most other blasters in the game. The trade-off is that the weapon is a 5-shot kill weapon as opposed to the DH-17, which is a 4-shot kill weapon. It also has a slightly slower rate of fire at 400 rounds per minute as opposed to the DH-17's 450, so more accuracy on the move with less firepower to show for it. Then we have the DLT-20A, which in the lore is another blaster rifle in use by the Empire and particularly associated with the bounty hunter IG-88. But don't get too excited, that assassination droid might not feature at all in the game. In the game files, it has some exceptionally strange stats which tell us that it's either not completed when the beta shipped, a hero weapon, or does something particularly different from the other weapons. Presently, the DLT-20A only does a single point of damage at every range, which would make it absurdly useless if there were not more to it. The other stats look very similar to the Cycler rifle, as it has a very long range, a very fast projectile travel time, and it has the same stand and fire for accuracy model as the Cycler rifle. So this one is a bit of a mystery. It might be that the DLT-20A is a hero-specific weapon that does have a very specific effect. Perhaps it has some other purpose in the game like disabling vehicles. We won't know until the full game arrives. Finally, there is the T-21, which in the lore is referred to as a light repeating blaster. It was a very powerful blaster that had a low rate of fire and was useful for cutting through shields and armor. In the Battlefront data, there's nothing light about it either, as it does 50 maximum damage per shot, and that falls off to 25 damage at range. So a potential 2-shot kill at ranges less than 10 meters and 3 to 4 shots everywhere else. It also has some pretty extreme upwards recoil at 0.5, but given its low rate of fire, that shouldn't be too hard to control even on a console controller. A heavy hitter, the T-21 in lore was preferred by both the Rebels and the Empire, and its versatile nature suggests that we'll see this pretty frequently on both sides of the conflict in Star Wars Battlefront as well. So what haven't we seen in the beta or the data? Though I talked about Boba Fett's one weapon, we still haven't seen any weapons for the other heroes in the game. It's rumored that Leia, Han Solo, and perhaps even the Emperor may be making an appearance in the game as playable heroes, giving each side 3 separate heroes to choose from when summoning a hero. In the data, we haven't seen any weapons that I would associate with these heroes, and this could mean that either it wasn't implemented when the data was mined or was scrubbed from the data. It could also mean that the E3 is simply a soldier weapon and Boba Fett's version is something else entirely. Exactly how many weapons will feature in the final game, nobody knows. But we've got a pretty good glimpse on at least a starting number of them from the data files. Once again, thanks to the folks at SimThick for constantly providing useful information for the community, and if you haven't done so, be sure to check them out in the link link in the description below. But what do you folks think about the upcoming weapons? If what's in the beta plus these is all we get in the final game, do you think that will be enough? Do you think that there is more yet to come? Be sure to hash it out in the comments below. If you're new around here, please take a moment to check out my channel and consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, YouTube.